I am will always be a Bathonian. Always been very passionate about local people on a sort of number of different levels, and again I've seen that the people in the vicinity, the families in particular, have not so much struggled but just had less opportunity. So I've always been driven about helping local people because I think it's really important. The concept really is to work with the families on 3 levels. So we're looking at some whole-based mentoring, so mentoring the young people and the families. We look to use the HOPE programme, which in essence is a sport activity programme. Things like bringing together lads and dads, daughters and mums, that sort of stuff. And then also a degree of employability element, and that's actually specifically for young adults with learning difficulties, because there's a large group of those young people in and around the city that are struggling to get a job. I think as long as you are that empathy and understanding of people, and also try and understand where those guys are coming from, understand what environment they're used to, you need to understand that first, because it's not about us doing work, it's about those people and supporting their needs.
I took over the building in 1990 in August, ready for the play schemes for 5 to 12-year-olds. And then from there, went into running a youth club, running toddler groups, creches for adult education, so that parents can go back to work. And then the preschool took over about 6 years ago from the creche.
She has a very down-to-earth approach, which makes her very accessible. She's very honest, and actually she's very child-centred in her whole approach, and she always has been.
The children I was dealing with when I started now are coming in with their children for me to look after.
That attachment that Val has made with hundreds, if not thousands, of families over that period has made a huge impression and ensured that the community as a whole hold Val in very high esteem. Because without her, this building would probably be long gone, and there not be anywhere for children in Twerton to come and have a great time.
There's a place for the children to play without being on the streets.
Well, it all started in the local pub, the Old Crown at Kelston, just after the A431 had closed, and my wife and I were there having a drink one night with the locals, including John Dinham, the farmer who owns the land. And my wife suggested that perhaps to avoid a 14-mile detour, which we all had from Kelston to get into Bath, that he might open up his fields or allow his fields to be used as a shortcut to get into Bath. The reaction from the public was overwhelmingly 99.9% positive. We created the toll road for people to use. It was not compulsory. If you didn't want to use it, you just drive around the long way. It's as simple as that. In particular with the emergency services, the guy that organises the ambulances there came over to thank us personally because during the 14-week life of the toll road, he reckons we helped to save possibly 3 lives in view of the time that the ambulance was able to save in using the toll road.